This is Chelsea Schaefer, and this is Season 4 of The Score. You all have listened to this podcast 750,000 times, and we are here in Season 4 to bring you even more of what you love.
What's up, everyone? It's Caitlin Gustav on The Score, and today our guest is the one and only Jaxson Tucker. He's 19 years old. He's originally from Statesville, North Carolina, hanging around Huckaby, Texas these days. And you guys have probably seen him. You know, he was going for the rookie race last year. He came up short. He was roping with Cesar de la Cruz, which is a great run to have, and Jaxson does talk about that in this episode. He hung around Luke Brown. He knew Luke Brown through his dad. His dad and Luke Brown are longtime friends. So Jaxson, before getting to Pro Rodeo, got to hang around and travel to all the pro rodeos and see the sights and learn from Luke Brown. So Jaxson talks about their relationship. He talks about what it's like traveling with Derrick Begay, because he recently drove across state lines with Derrick in a car to catch a rodeo in Pecos, which we also kind of cover that in here. We talk about horsepower, we talk about the mental game, and this was just a really fun conversation. And if you can make it through at the end, we have a little fun this or that game that we play. So I hope you guys enjoy it. It was a really fun interview. Thank you, Jaxson, for taking the time to chat with me. And if you listen to this podcast, be sure to leave us a rating and review. Let us know which interviews you loved, which guys you want us to talk to. Let us know how this episode was. We love reading those. So enough of me talking. Let's listen to the special interview with Jaxson Tucker. This episode is brought to you by Farnam. Stick with us because we have a special commercial at the middle of this episode. What's up, Jaxson?
What's up, Caitlin? How's it going?
Oh, it's good. Where are you in the world today?
I'm sitting in a Holiday Inn lobby in Pecos, Texas right now. Waiting for the second one tonight. Fun.
And yeah, speaking of Pecos, unfortunately, your partner wasn't there, but tell us who you picked up.
Yes, my partner didn't make it this morning, but I got the world champion calf roper heel for me, Haven Majid, and we just run our first one, and I rode Cody Snow's bay, Burt. He was awesome, and just waiting up the second one now.
Gotcha. And Burt, have you ever ridden Burt before?
I have, yes. So Cody, he sent him with me to Arcadia and those rodeos that were before the BFI this year, and the first BFI, I guess. And when I was down there, I rode him. I just practiced on him one day when I was down there, and that was the first time that I'd ever rode him, and then got to ride him again today.
That's awesome. That horse has been phenomenal ever since I had seen Cody in high school roping on that horse. So that's super cool you got to jump on him.
Oh, yeah, it was perfect. He's an awesome horse. I love him, and I glad to be friends with Cody and let me get on him.
Yeah. And horsepower, how does Burt kind of feel like your horses, or are your horses a little different style?
I tell you, he's not very big when you look at him, and not very tall. He's kind of like the sorrel that I always ride. He's about the same height, but he's a lot. I don't know. He's higher headed, and I'm not sure. He runs a lot harder, it seems like, but he was perfect, really. He felt a lot like my mare a little bit in some ways, but I don't know. He drags his butt through the corner, and it's really easy to handle the steer, so that's something that's really cool about him.
Gotcha. And what is that mare? That mare you ride's pretty cool. Let's kind of talk about the horses you have in your string.
Right. I just got that mare, I would say, probably a couple weeks before the first BFI they had in Guthrie, and my good sorrel that I always ride, I call him MC Hammer, and he was just coming off an injury, and I felt like the BFI would just be a hard open to ride him at, so I ended up riding that mare there, and she did perfect. I just got her. She's 9 years old. I got her from a boy that was actually working for Cody Snow at the time, and it just kind of fit in perfect, and I do like having her, and I'm going to ride her at a lot of these rodeos this summer, and when I don't have my sorrel there, or whatever the setup normally is. But she is a nice horse, and I'm lucky to have her. But the sorrel, he'll always be at the top, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. So what is, like, when you're looking at a horse, what are, like, the key things that you look for in a horse?
I've never really bought that many horses in my life. I've always just kind of rode what I had and
Mm-hmm.
kind of just tried to make it work. This is kind of one of the first horses that I've ever like really ventured out and bought. And honestly, I wasn't even at the time. I was needing a horse, but I didn't really need one that bad. And I seen the boy roping on him, and she just scored amazing. Best horse I've ever scored in my life. I've never rode one that scored that good, and that was a big deal to me. But I mean, obviously speed and everything, but I think the start matters more than anything. And so that was a big deal to me, and the speed. And she pulls good and faces good, just like the other horses that I have. And so I mean, it was a good fit, really. And I was glad I was there practicing that day and got to watch that boy ride her, and it worked out. And that's really the main thing to me, is just scoring. And yeah, you got to have one that's fast, but
Mm-hmm.
I think the start's the biggest key.
Gotcha. And, I kind of want to jump back, let's kind of talk about, your rookie year. Looking back, how was that year for you?
It was rough. When I started out, I didn't do very good. I'd always jackpotted my whole life. I'd been to some rodeos, and I mean, it's just hard to get in the groove of doing it. And I think that I'm just starting to do better, but I kind of lucked out. My first year, Cesar, he had asked me to rope right before the summer, and I'd roped somebody different that winter. And Jake Clay's who I roped with. He was my first partner through the winter, and he was going to start heading at the time. And Cesar called me and asked me to rope, and I mean, it was just like a blessing. He's made the finals 9 times, and I'd always watched him as a kid and wanted to rope with him, and it worked out perfect. And he took me rodeoing for my first year, and I got to buddy with my cousins, Cory Kidd and Clay Futrell, and Cory, he taught me a lot. And it was really cool to get to rope with him, and I was lucky that he asked me to rope. Really, I mean, you just don't get that opportunity very much. But so I mean, but it was rough. I didn't head very good for him. We won a little bit, and but we're still. I mean, he's one of my best friends, and always will be because of what he did for me. And we're up a lot at the jackpots whenever I'm in Arizona or we're close. We're up in California, second partners, and I don't know. I was lucky to get to do that. This is my second year, and I feel like I'm just starting to get better at my rodeo, and so I'm hoping that it will come along here before too long.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, that was super cool. Like when we found out that you were roping with Cesar, that was cool that a rookie could rope with a guy like that. Not saying you weren't capable to rope with Cesar, but
No, yeah, it was cool. I would have never dreamed it. Through my whole childhood, you always see Derrick Begay and Cesar at the NFR. I mean, I was just a kid in North Carolina watching it on TV with my dad and my parents. But I mean, it was kind of like a dream come true or come to reality, I guess. Whenever he asked me to rope and show up at the first rodeo roping with him, it's really unbelievable, honestly.
Yeah, and I mean, speaking of Derrick Begay, obviously you were just road tripping with him from Arizona to Vegas. What's it like being on the road with Derrick?
Right, yeah, quite the time. I've known him. Luke Brown, he introduced me to him a long time ago. My dad used to send me out to Texas and make me stay with Luke, and it was awesome. Luke Brown was the hardest working guy that heads, for sure. And but he introduced me to Begay a long time ago, and got to be really good buddies with him. Now he's one of my very, very best friends. And but anyways, we all day during the BFI the other day, we didn't even know how we were going to get to Pecos yet. We knew we were gonna drive or fly. Like what? He would walk up to me every 10 minutes. What are we gonna do about Pecos? Man, I don't know. What do you want to do? And so ended up we flew to Phoenix and got in his wife's car, and we headed down here last night. Or he picked me up about 2:00 yesterday, and we drove it down here and got us a room. So we're just waiting. No, but yeah, it's quite the time. We actually the roads were closed down by Tucson and Wilcox, so we went around to we went up a different way and went through where Matt Sherwood lives in Pima, and we got we stepped out of the car and got us a selfie with Matt Sherwood's entering the Pima city limits and sent it to Sherwood. So,
Oh my gosh.
We had a good time, but no, yeah, he's quite the time. It's pretty funny. We watched the Phoenix basketball game all the way over here last night. I didn't even think Begay liked basketball, but turns out he did, so we watched that.
Yeah, that's interesting. I wouldn't picture Begay as a basketball fan.
No, yeah, you wouldn't see it at all, but he knows all the basketball players, and he loved it, so we had a good time. It was fun.
Fun fact of the day. Oh my
exactly,
gosh.
Yeah.
That is funny. That is one thing that's like, I was just talking to my friend the other day how we would love to just be like flies on the wall in the back of Begay's truck, just going with him down the road just to see what it's like. And wow, that sounds like fun.
Yeah, I know. He says some of the randomest stuff that they're randomest times, and you wouldn't think it, but it's all true. And he's got a lot. He knows a lot. That guy knows a lot. He's rodeoed a lot. You can tell.
Oh my gosh! And so you guys just drove in Justine's car? Like you guys were roughies yesterday?
Yeah, we were. Actually, you know what we did when the rooms were all booked in Pecos when we got here? So what he did, he said, let's see if we can get us a bed in the back of this car. So he laid the seats down, and we both just slept in the back seat of this car on some blankets, just like roughies would do it. Exactly how roughies would do it. And so after lunch today, Caleb Schmidt, world champion camper for two, he told us that he had a room over here at the Holiday Inn, 2 beds in it, and a couch. So they're in there taking a nap right now, and I'm out here in the lobby, so I don't wake them up.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, you guys are full on roughing it right now. That is amazing.
Exactly. That's what we're doing, it feels like.
And to kick off the summer run, too. I guess, what's your summer run going to look like?
Yeah, exactly. You know, we're going to drive back to Phoenix tonight after we rope again, and then I'm going to get on a plane, I think, around 8 in the morning, and I'll fly back to Reno, and I got my horses there. One horse, my sorrel, my mare, I sent her to Arizona for Prescott. I'm going to fly down there, but I start at Prineville on Friday night, so that's where I start, and then I'm headed to Greeley, I guess, after that.
Gotcha. And, you know, we got on the ram, like, the rant of Begay, and you mentioned Luke Brown, and I know, like, the first time I ever saw you were hauling with Luke. Kind of tell me about yours and Luke's relationship, and kind of what you've learned from being around him.
Right, so my dad's known him forever. He's also from North Carolina or South Carolina, right over the line. We both lived right there, but he's known my dad forever. They're best friends, and my dad rodeoed forever. And anyways, my dad would always send me out here to Texas or come with me and drop me off and leave me with Luke. And Luke was kind of my guy. You know, he taught me everything, and him and my dad. But anyways, so whenever during the summers, most kids they would go rope and jackpot, but I would always go with Luke and help him in whichever way I could, and just watch and try to learn, you know. And so, I mean, really, I never roped during the summers. I was always at all these rodeos that I'm getting to go to now and enter, and I was just around all the guys and learned a lot. And I really do think it helps. When I started last year, all the rodeos that I went to, I'd already been to, and kind of knew this or that or whatever. But it was a good deal for me, and I'm sure I'm glad I did it. And kind of funny, just the other day I was telling Tyler Wade, he told me about 3 or 4 years ago at Reno, he told me, he said, you're going to be sick of rodeoing by the time you're old enough to rodeo. And I told him that the other day. We had lunch at the Outback in Reno. I said, you know, it's probably been 4 or 5 years ago since you told me that. I'm not sick of it yet. I'm glad to be here. So, but anyways, no, Luke, he taught me everything, and that guy works harder than anybody at it, and I'm sure I was lucky to have him.
Yeah. Do you still, I mean, are you around him a lot still, or kind of what's your relationship with him now?
I am. I'm around him a lot still, but he told me a couple of years ago, he said, you're up good enough now, you need to try to start figuring out on your own, and I respect that, and that's kind of what I did. And I got Cory Kidd, my cousin, he helps me a lot, and Cody Snow, he has changed my roping around, and he's helped me a lot. And I've got a lot of people that have helped me out, and I'm glad to be on the right track now. But yeah, Luke, he's still there for me. He's a great dude.
Gotcha. And like, speaking of rodeoing, like having your cousins on the road, and I know Clay, he won the Resistar Rookie healing title last year. Kind of explain what it's like to have family on the road and being able to have those outlets.
Yeah, it's so good. They're in the loop, and you can ask them about entering or what they're doing, or if you need to send a horse here or there or a ride. I mean, it's a lot easier, and having Cory and Clay out there, and that's real cool to me. And I know a lot of people that are from back home that rodeo too, and it makes it easy. And Clay, his sister Paige, which is my other cousin, I guess, but she married a NFR bull rider named Eli Vassfinder, and he rodeos too. So it's cool. We got a lot of family out here, and it really is nice to have.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's one thing. Like, I wish I had family that rodeoed, because I feel like that would be a lot cooler than just going by myself everywhere.
Yeah, exactly. It is easier because they're in the loop and they can help you with entering or this or that. But me and Clay, it was both our first years last year, and Cory, he's rodeoed for a long time. So, yeah, it was dang sure good to have.
Yeah. And growing up, all you guys are from, North Carolina. What was it like growing up over there?
So growing up in North Carolina, it was definitely different. The rodeos over there they're way different than anything out here. The steers are really slow and the barriers are short. So it's more of like I went to a lot of rodeos where the steers walked and trotted, and we didn't get to do that much roping over there, really. Really the only roping you did was when you went to a jackpot. It rains so much in North Carolina that you really don't get to rope that much, and so that's why I was in Texas so much. I always got to rope out there, and my family, they were good about it, and good about keeping me out there because they knew that's what I wanted to do, and my cousins were all the same way. Cory's lived there ever since he started rodeoing, and Clay the same, and any of my other cousins, Cole, Clay's little brother, he ropes a lot too, and he's out here in Stephenville now because that's what he wants to do. And it is it's nice being from back there, though. I really do like it. It teaches you a lot about them rodeos and stuff too, and lots of jackpots, and it's just a different way of life, really. But it is it's definitely different. It's different than anything you'd ever experience or see, for sure.
Yeah. So I guess your dad sending you to Luke's was kind of your first step away from North Carolina, or like what?
Yep, that was kind of my first step. Luke was roping with Martin Lucero at the time, and Cory, when he first started, he actually lived at Martin Lucero, so we all just kind of were there, and Luke and Martin were kind of our guys, and we were just kind of like in their hands. But yeah, that was my first step, and that was kind of what I did. I was when I started I met so many people when I lived with him, or when I was with him, or when he was helping me, that would just come over there and practice. Jade Corkgill, Chad Masters, Jake Hong, all these guys that I'm great friends with now. It all was through him, and it was really cool. Actually, the first time that I ever went out with him one summer, Cory was out there too, but I played golf with Cory Kuntz, and Clay O'Brien Cooper. First summer I was with him, and it was just a cool experience. The first summer he takes me out there, I'm meeting those guys and hanging around those guys, and
yeah, that's surreal.
I'm just being good friends with them now, so it all come full circle.
No, that's super surreal. I look back because, like, you look at all these guys now and they're your buds, like, they're all friends, they're not strangers, they're like, but growing up, you look at them, they're like, there's these pro guys, like, you want their autograph, you want to take pictures with them, whatever, but they're regular people, and they're actually cool to be around.
Yeah, for sure. It is. That's exactly how it is, and I always thought that before, and now being buddies with them, I would have never had that, or been still building a lot of relationships if it wasn't for doing all that when I was younger. So, yeah, you're right. These guys, they seems like they're not even real, but they are real people, and they're really good at what they do, and they take care of their business, and I've learned a lot from all of them.
Yeah, what's the best advice you've received from one of the pros? If you have like one thing that's stuck.
That's hard. Luke and Paul Eves, he told me a while back, probably 3 or 4 years ago, he said, it doesn't matter the financial situation or anything. He said, you can't give up out here, he told me one time, he said, if you got $150 in your bank account, and there's some jackpots in Texas on Tuesday. Austin Robertson has some opens every Tuesday. It's $150 a man to go over there and enter. And he told me one time, he said, if you got $150 in your bank account and it's Tuesday, you need to show up over there. And I think that's what's helped me a lot. I go to every roping, and I'm always in the loop, and I think you just stay on top of your game that way. It's more of a high-risk situation that way, but at the same time, I think it's better in yourself, and that's probably one of the best things that I've ever heard is pretty much just never stop going or never giving up on yourself.
Mm-hmm. No, that's true. That's once you give up on yourself, it's hard to get kind of back in the game and like make yourself go and enter.
Right, for sure. I agree. I think that's one of the best things that ever happened to me.
Yeah, and I guess going down the road, like who are you hauling with this summer?
I go by myself a lot, and I did some last summer. Cesar went with me some, but I'm sure me and my partner will get in some together. But Begay, we're pretty much entered the same everywhere, and he'll probably go with me some. So that'll probably be the rest of my summer will probably be hanging out with that guy. So I'm sure I'll learn some stuff, I guess.
Oh yeah, nope, that's gonna be a fun summer, I think. Oh my gosh, yeah. I can't imagine.
Yeah, it should be interesting for sure. Keep you posted.
Yeah, send updates. It'll be great.
Yep. So that's about what my summer's looking like, I guess.
Admit it, bugs suck. They're the last thing you want hanging around your horse and stable. Our friends at Farnam can help rid your barn of these annoying, filthy, disease-carrying bad guys. If you're ready for the best way to protect your horse, your stable, and yourself, look to Farnam's no-fly zone solution. The people over at Farnam have discovered the best way to set yourself up for success is by fighting on all fronts. With their 3-stage approach of block, repel, reduce, you can be sure flies, mosquitoes, and ticks are kept away. Go to farnam.com, that's FARNAM.com, to learn more and download a free copy of the Horse Owner's Guide to creating your own no-fly zone. Plus, you can find money-saving offers to help get you on your way to a fly-free zone. Farnam, your partner in fly control. What's like, do you have any funny hauling stories?
Oh, I don't know.
Like road trip? Like, did you ever listen to the podcast Chelsea did with like Cesar and Trevor and Patrick and all them on the like
I have
their road trips?
Yeah. I really don't have that many. I mean, I don't, honestly. Just what? Just trying to think. Not really. Seems like every time I've been with somebody who'd been super serious last summer, or Begay yesterday taking that selfie in front of Matt Sherwood's city limit sign. That was pretty good, I thought. But it's not very funny. It's just something that we did.
What about scary? Like, no, you haven't had any scary moments on the road or anything?
No, not really. I'm young. I haven't had any. I'm kind of still a rookie. I haven't had any scares yet. So, I mean, I'm hoping to not ever, but.
Well, you never know. I mean,
yeah, you never know. I mean, I keep you updated. Tonight might be the first time, but no, I've never really had anything like that. I've been pretty lucky, I guess.
Yeah. Well, I mean, let's hope you don't, I guess. But if you do, it'd make a great story. Everyone wants to hear those funny or scary stories.
Yeah, if something happens, I'll be letting you know.
Oh my God. And what, so are you living in Stephenville now? You and like your cousins all moved over there, or what's?
Yep, we all live there. Everybody's there. My parents are still in North Carolina, and so are theirs, but they have a place that they bought in Stephenville, my aunt and my uncle, which is Colin Clay's dad. Mm-hmm. And they let me live there, and it's close to everybody. It's in Huckaby, and it's really close to a lot of guys that rope. I got like probably 5 or 6 arenas within a mile of me that I go practice at. I can ride my horses to about 2 or 3 of them, and it's a good spot. And Cory, he's got his own place now, and I'm over there some. And it seems like I've been doing most of my practicing at Cody Snow's though. Mm-hmm. That guy, he is he's helped my roping unbelievable amount. I feel like I've changed as a header, and it seems like where I end up to get most of my help now these days.
Yeah, what Cody, I mean, Cody's great. I wish I reached out to him more to help me because I know he would, and he has before. What has he kind of helped you change with your roping, or just helped you with?
My riding, probably the most. I think he rides a horse just as good as anybody, and he's always got good horses. And I mean, obviously, he's rode the same 2 horses for his. He's made this is his 5th in FR, and the same 2 horses. And you don't see many people do that, Annie and Burt. And he's helped me a lot with my riding and just figuring out more ways to win. More ways to make money, more ways to win during the roping or during the rodeo. And honestly, I think that when I first started roping, I figured out how to head, and that was it, just how to rope. And I never really learned how to ride a horse very good or make a horse better or anything like that. And he's got a lot of horses over there, and he puts me on some different horses, and he rides some of mine, I ride some of his. And it's just kind of figuring out how to ride a certain horse. And I think he's one of the best, if not the best at it. And I think that's what's changed my roping more than anything is he's figuring out how to score a horse better, ride a horse better, and obviously handle the steer better, make it easier on your guy. So to me, that's been the biggest thing, and I appreciate that.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. And I know you were talking about Cody and those 2 horses that he rides all the time. I mean, he's been riding those horses since high school.
Yep.
I feel like it's unheard of for people to be riding them that long.
It is. You don't see many people ride horses for that long, and I think it's really cool. And honestly, I've had the same sorrel for this would be probably my, I would say, 10th or 11th year riding him. He's 16 now, and kind of the same deal for him on Burt. I guess he's getting a little bit older too, but he's rode him since he was in high school, and I've done the same for mine. And it's crazy to see when you get a good horse how they just keep telling. I mean, I rode my horse in the 9s, 8s, 10 points whenever I was a kid, and I'm riding him. I rode him at the BFI a couple days ago, so that was pretty cool for me. But he's my best horse, and it is cool to see how much better they get whenever you just make yourself better and make it easier on them.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. That especially they can progress with you over the years.
Yeah, for sure. And he's obviously done it on those 2 forever, it seems like, and I think it's helped. I think my horse has gotten even better since I've been figuring more things out from him.
Yeah, that's sweet. That is super cool. Yeah, that's awesome. What do you fight your head at all down the road, or are you pretty level-headed, whether you're having a good or bad week?
It's been hard this year. I haven't done very good, and I haven't done very good last year either. It seems like all my money that I win seems to be coming from the jackpots, and the rodeos just haven't been that good. And honestly, I try to stay level-headed. I mean, I'm pretty hard on myself, but at the same time, it seems like we go to a rodeo or jackpot every day, if not every other day, even when we're at home. So, I mean, really and truly, it's hard to stay down on yourself. I mean, people are going to forget about it right after you did it anyways, and I think that's the same thing that you need to do. And so anyways, I try to go back home and make it better, work on it, or forget that it ever even happened, one of the 2. And I think, so yeah, I guess you could say pretty level-headed, but I am hard on myself, and I do like to win, and I try to do everything I can to win. So
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, I can't imagine you guys going down the road for as long as you guys do. I feel like it's a daily battle that you guys have to go through. But I guess, something cool that, Colton Schmidt, just after he won the BFI, he told me that he got a mental performance coach. Do you believe in any of that, or what are your thoughts?
I don't know. I think it's pretty cool to have you at the same time, but I don't know. I've talked to a lot of guys, and a lot of guys just seem like they keep it pretty simple. And I try to do the same. So I don't know if it worked for me, but it may work for some people. I try to just stay on my own game and keep it simple. But I do think it is good to talk to a lot of people that are good about it. A lot of people. There's so many people that win, like Trevor and Patrick's done it forever, and those guys they're so sharp, and they're so they just keep their head up all the time. Doesn't seem like they ever let themselves get down, and pretty level-headed and keep it simple. And that's just the way I try to look at it and have since last year. I mean, it hasn't been very easy, so I'm just trying to stay in a good spot and get better. I mean, it takes time. I get it. It takes time, but it seems like I'm just ready to hurry up and get it done. But I don't think you can rush it or outrun it or any of that to try to get better. I think you got to work hard every day and just trust the process.
Yeah, definitely. And I know that you watch like roping videos. Is that what you just do on your downtime, or like?
That's all I do. It seems like all I think about is roping. I mean, if I'm not over at the house practicing, I'm thinking about it or thinking about these other horses that I like or something, or I don't know. Yep, that's about all I do. I watch a lot of team roping. I've watched a lot of runs in my life.
And you don't get bored of it?
I don't get bored of it. No, I love it. I think if you're going to do it, you have to love it. And if you don't love it, then I don't think you should be out here. And I mean, I love to practice. I love to rope. I love watching it. I love everything about it. So I think that's the only way that you can succeed at it.
Yeah,
I guess.
Definitely. Well, I guess what is one thing, or what are some things that for like newcomers or, like the Resisto rookies that are coming up this year, what is one piece of advice you could give to guys wanting to come up into the pro ranks?
I don't know. I guess since I've been through it last year and I did terrible, I would say that I guess what I always thought about was that I needed to stay on top of everything and keep everything in order. My horse is working good and my roping stayed sharp, or try to keep my roping sharp. I did not rope good last year during the summer. I did not head very good for Cesar, and he always had a lot of faith in me, a lot of confidence in me. And I think that if you have a lot of confidence in yourself, that's probably the best thing. I think a lot of confidence in yourself. I think the only way that you're going to win is having confidence in yourself. If you don't think that you can do it, then there's no point in even entering, honestly. I mean, every time I messed up, I felt like maybe I needed to get down on myself or whatever. But I just don't think you can be like that. If you're not confident in yourself and confident in what you're doing, your horses, you're open, I don't think you should be out here.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, definitely. I think that's good advice to give to people that are wanting to come up in the ranks.
Yep, got to be confident, got to love it, got to want to do it, got to show up everywhere thinking you're going to win. I think that's been the biggest thing for me.
Definitely. Well, Jaxson, are you ready for some this or that?
I guess so. I don't know.
It's not bad. Okay, ready?
Okay.
Yellowstone or Friends?
Friends.
Oh, good. I mean, that was a hard one. I like both of them, but Friends is number one.
I think the only reason is because I haven't seen Yellowstone, and people give me a lot of crap about that, but I have not seen it.
You're going to get a lot of crap after people listen to this podcast. You have not seen Yellowstone?
I have not seen one episode in my whole life, but I do always remember I would go to my cousin's house when I was little, we'd rope, and then I'd stay there that night, and I just always remember laying on the couch watching Friends. I love that show.
Are you a diehard like me? Like, I have the entire whole season DVD set.
I don't know if I'm a diehard Friends fan. No, I just, every time you turn on your TV, it seems like you can find it. If you need something to watch, you can just go somewhere and find it. It seems like it's always on somewhere.
No, 100%. But I might have to let you borrow. I have both the Yellowstone DVDs and the Friends DVDs. I'll just let you take them down the road so you can catch up on both.
Seems like I need to watch it. Everybody's been telling me, and now you're telling me, so maybe I need to watch Yellowstone.
Yeah, 100% you have to. Oh, my God. Okay. Hork Dog or George Strait?
George Strait's the greatest roping of all time, so it's hard not to watch that. But the Hork Dog, the music on there,
oh yeah,
that just makes the team roping so much cooler.
100%. Okay, does pineapple go on pizza?
Absolutely.
Oh,
one of the greatest
good.
toppings pizza of all time.
Oh, good.
I love it.
I was going to say, we can't be friends if you say pineapple does not go on pizza. I was going to hang up on you.
No, heck no. I grew up. I remember. That's all. When I ate pizza, there was pineapple on it.
Oh my gosh. It must be us coasters.
Must be, I guess.
I don't know.
One side or the other.
Yeah, either way. Okay, iPhone or Android?
Oh, don't even ask me that. Everybody knows the answer to that. You got to have an iPhone.
Duh.
How the heck am I going to get where I'm going if I don't got an iPhone? Which Begay told me the other day, he said I don't need to use my maps. He said I need to just drive until I hit a sign that I see.
Oh. Well, Begay can do
He
that.
told me in Reno the other day, he said, you need to stop using your maps or you're not ever going to know where you're going the next time you use it.
He's not wrong. I feel like maybe we should all test ourselves.
He told me I just needed to get an old road atlas and put it in between my feet pocket.
Oh, no. I don't think that'd be good for you. Maybe. Okay, flying or driving?
I like to fly. I like to fly a lot. I don't like mounting out all the time. I got a good horse today, but I don't like mounting out all the time, but I do like to fly.
Yeah. Quick and easy. Passenger or driver?
I like to drive.
You do?
I do like to drive. I like to go by myself a lot, and I like to drive a lot.
Interesting. Ooh, this one's a good one. Tacos or steak?
Steak. 100%.
Okay. Ninjas or pirates?
What did you say?
Ninjas or pirates?
What the heck is this? Ninjas.
Ninjas. And ding, ding, ding. That's all I had for you.
Oh my gosh, it was all pretty good until the last one.
I had to catch you off
The last
guard.
one got weird. Last one got weird, Caitlin.
You're welcome. Great answers,
man.
though. Great answers. On that note, we can stay friends,
Yeah,
Jackson.
I was honest on all of them, no problem.
Oh my god. Well, Jackson, thanks for playing that game with me, and I'm going to let you go, but good luck down the road, and thank you for chatting with me on the podcast today.
Yep, for sure. I appreciate it, and thank you.
Thank you again for listening to this special episode with Jaxson Tucker, and remember, this episode is brought to you by Farnam, your partner in flight control.